Chapter 13, Water-Soluble Vitamins, Screencast 2. The first B-complex vitamin that we're going to talk about is thiamine, which is also known as B1. Now, please keep in mind, on an assessment, I will strictly be using the table at the end of this chapter to focus on good sources of vitamins and also looking at toxicities, deficiencies, and all of those other concepts that are associated on that table. So make sure you take a look at that. Now, one of the things that I want to point out here is if we look at the types of foods that thiamine or B1 can be found, it's a pretty wide range. But if we look at the two most common, they're going to be protein and also grains. So when we look at various proteins, keep in mind that we can see both plant-based and animal-based proteins can contain a relatively high amount of thiamine. Also, when we look at different types of grains. So keep that in mind. Now, I do want to address Total. Total is actually a cereal that is fortified. So it's not surprising that we actually see that it meets 100% of the RDA. Now, keep in mind, you're not responsible for memorizing the RDAs, has been noted previously. Now, the function of thiamine, and here we're looking at thiamine pyrophosphate. What is needed for primarily is the metabolism of carbohydrates, but also branched-chain amino acids. Thiamine actually participates in decarboxylation reactions, also helps in the conversion of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA. The pentose phosphate pathway functions as coenzyme transketolase. And remember, another thing that thiamine is important for is normal function of our nervous system. Now, here we're basically looking at deficiencies, and note we will not be addressing as toxicities of thiamine because they really aren't common. You may have heard of beriberi, and what beriberi is a peripheral neuropathy and weakness. Symptoms include muscle pain and tenderness, enlargement of the heart, difficulty breathing, swelling and edema, anorexia, loss of appetite, weight loss, poor memory, and confusion. There are different types of beriberi. Dry beriberi are symptoms that are related to nervous and muscular function. Wet beriberi is nervous system and cardiovascular system, and one of the things could be potentially congestive heart failure. Infantile beriberi, now breast milk contains insufficient amount of thiamine, and this could potentially result in heart problems, convulsions, and also death. There is also something known as Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, and this is something that's used in heavy users of alcohol. And what alcohol actually does, it decreases the absorption of thiamine, it increases the excretion of thiamine, and it really kind of causes abusers to consume a poor diet. Symptoms include visual disturbances, ataxia, confusion, and apathy.